You are listening to The Vocal Technologist. Spoken tech for your ears.
What if I told you that putting a made with AI label on a video, like even if that video is just an absolute masterpiece, will instantly kill its engagement by up to 8%?
It is, it's honestly the ultimate paradox of the internet right now.
Right.
Like, we are spending billions building these machines to automate our communication while the people on the receiving end are actively searching for, proof that there's still a human being on the other side of the screen.
Welcome to the deep dive.
Yeah.
If you've been feeling that friction, that weird tension between wanting a perfectly efficient life, but, craving unpolished reality, you are definitely not alone.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
Today, we are looking at this fascinating stack of marketing newsletters and research from early July 2026. And our mission today is to explore this massive collision between AI-driven automation and human authenticity. Because, this isn't just about software anymore.
Oh,
right?
absolutely not. It's way bigger.
Yeah, exactly. It is completely rewriting the rules of how you discover products, how you make decisions, and really how you connect with the world. Okay, let's unpack this because this TikTok study about the Made with AI label is just blowing my mind.
The scope of that study is what really makes it undeniable. They analyzed over 1.1 million posts across 8 distinct experimental groups.
Wow, 1 million posts.
Yeah, massive scale. So they weren't just looking at anecdotal evidence, they actually isolated the variables. And they found that simply applying that AI label reduces overall engagement by 7% and drops likes by 7 to 8%.
But wait, let me play devil's advocate for a second here.
Sure, go for it.
Are people just skipping these videos because, AI video generators still occasionally give people 6 fingers or make the physics look weird? Is it just a quality issue?
That is the most surprising part of the data, actually. The drop in engagement happens even when the quality of the video is completely indistinguishable from a human-made one.
Wait, really? So even if it looks perfect?
Yeah, exactly. It isn't a reaction to bad content. It's this deeply ingrained psychological reaction to the label itself. When a consumer sees made with AI, their brain immediately calculates that less human struggle, less craft and time went into it.
Oh, that makes sense. We intuitively value effort.
Right. If we know a machine just spat out the image in 3 seconds, we subconsciously devalue the result, no matter how pretty it is.
It's like we feel cheated, like we're being tricked into giving our attention to something that didn't earn it, which actually, that ties perfectly into this concept from Elena Verna in our source's AI Confidence Theater.
Oh, yeah. What's fascinating here is how the corporate world is entirely out of step with what buyers actually want. AI Confidence Theater is, it's that phenomenon you see all over LinkedIn.
Oh, the endless posts.
Yes, people posting these exaggerated, supposedly life-changing claims about basic AI workflows. They'll package a simple email automation as a revolutionary paradigm shift.
Right.
But the data shows B2B buyers are completely exhausted by this hype.
Think about the last time you were evaluating software for your team. You probably didn't care that the website claimed it was an AI-powered, enterprise-grade synergy platform.
Nobody cares about that.
Nobody. Buyers are actively ignoring those vague buzzwords. They want hard, verifiable proof. They want to know how many days will implementation take or, what are the exact migration steps. They don't want a generated landscape of a futuristic smart city. They just want to see a recording of the actual product dashboard.
Because transparency is the only currency that matters now. The study pointed out something really crucial here. AI tools that require visible human skill, they don't trigger that backlash.
Interesting. So if they know a human is driving it, it's fine.
Exactly. People don't mind AI if you explain how it supported the human workflow. It's when brands pretend the AI just magicked the final product into existence that trust completely evaporates.
You know what this reminds me of? It's exactly like the fat-free craze back in the 90s.
Oh, that's an interesting comparison. How so?
Well, at first, everyone rushed to it, right? Oh my gosh, it's fat-free. This is the ultimate hack. I can eat an entire box of cookies.
Right, guilt-free eating.
But then people actually tasted the cookies. And they realized the artificial replacement tasted like cardboard. And eventually, everyone started craving the real, authentic ingredients again. The human effort is the real butter.
That is a perfect analogy. The human effort is the butter. And this fear of being perceived as, artificial cardboard is literally changing how professionals write.
Yes, this was easily the funniest yet most dystopian detail of the sources. The Anne Hanley piece points out that human marketing teams are terrified of looking like AI bots.
Completely terrified.
And because large language models happen to lean heavily on certain grammatical quirks, like using a lot of em-dashes or specific transitional phrases, human writers are now actively stripping normal, correct punctuation out of their own writing.
It is a bizarre form of reputational self-surveillance. I mean, we have human beings altering their genuine expression just to avoid triggering a false positive on an AI detector.
That's crazy.
But as Hanley argues, the solution to sounding human isn't banning the em-dash. The solution is developing a point of view so distinctly yours, with all its messy opinions and humor, that no one would ever confuse it for generalized algorithm output.
So if buyers are completely ignoring this AI-generated fluff and demanding real proof, they still have to find answers somewhere, right? Where are they going? Because it seems like product discovery is just completely fractured into two totally different extremes.
It really has. On one side, you have these highly trusted, closed human networks, and on the other, you have hyper-efficient AI answer engines and traditional middle ground channels. They're just getting crushed. Let's look at the generational divide. A YouGov study in our stack shows that older generations, like boomers, they still rely on traditional discovery. Like TV and radio ads reach about 41% of them.
Okay, 41%.
But for Gen Z, that number drops to just 19%.
Wow. Yeah, when you look at influencer marketing, it's almost a perfect mirror image, right?
Yeah.
Influencers are reaching 41% of Gen Z and only 13% of boomers. And this isn't just passive scrolling either. Think about brands like Dunkin'. When Gen Z discovers Dunkin' through an influencer they actually trust, purchase consideration shoots up to 44% compared to 38% through other channels.
Yeah.
ELF Cosmetics jumps from 21% to 28%.
That is the power of the human network right there. But while that's thriving, the traditional company blog is essentially on life support. One of our sources analyzed blog traffic and found that the median blog has lost 85% of its traffic recently.
85%, that is catastrophic, but why? The source mentioned something called helpful content updates, but what did that actually do?
Basically, Google rolled out massive changes to their search algorithm designed to penalize unhelpful, repetitive content. For years, companies wrote these bloated 2,000-word articles just to cram keywords onto a page. The helpful content update was meant to nuke that spam, but it inadvertently decimated standard company blogs too. Now, search engines just use AI overviews to answer the user's question immediately. Only 21 out of 100 blogs studied are still growing, and they are the ones strictly offering original first-hand experience.
Which perfectly explains why a software company called Cursor is taking such a brilliant, totally counterintuitive approach. They didn't try to salvage a dead SEO blog. Instead, they built a human-first strategy centered entirely around a branded subreddit.
And it is working incredibly well. They have 143,000 members and pull in nearly 10,000 organic visits a month just from Reddit alone.
Wow.
But the strategy isn't just about having a forum, It's about how they behave in that forum.
Right. If you go to that subreddit, you'll see senior engineers and executives publicly answering highly specific bottom-of-funnel questions. Someone will complain that the billing page is broken, and a human from the company replies, fixes it, and apologizes. But the ultimate flex, they purposefully leave the negative posts and angry rants up for everyone to see.
Think about why that matters today. A machine or, a traditional PR team would optimize for a flawlessly clean, positive narrative.
Absolutely.
By allowing the messy reality of customer complaints to stay visible, Cursor is proving their humanity. It builds absolute trust. And the irony is that highly trusted human environment is exactly the kind of primary source that AI tools are looking to cite.
Okay, so that's the human side. But on the complete opposite end of the spectrum, we have a strategy called AEO, or Answer Engine Optimization. This is where companies are aggressively optimizing for the bots. The finance platform Ramp is doing this. They realize their buyers care deeply about software spending trends. So they built these massive directory pages with tons of data, and they update them weekly. But here's the catch. They intentionally put the key statistics in raw HTML code so bots can scrape them.
Why go through that trouble? Why not just make a beautiful graphic?
Because bots don't have eyes.
Oh, right?
If you put a crucial statistic inside a beautifully designed, CSS rendered chart, An AI scraper often can't parse it. It just sees an image file. But if you put that data into a raw HTML table, literally formatting the code in rows and columns, the AI instantly understands the relationship between the data points. You are handing the machine exactly what it wants on a silver platter.
And it pays off in something called an information gain score.
Yes, this is critical. Search algorithms calculate an information gain score to measure whether a page actually adds new knowledge to the internet or if it's just repeating the same facts you can find on Wikipedia.
Got it. A study from Growth Memo found that a page with 15 or more unique proprietary data points gets a massive information gain score of 62.1. A page with only one data point, it scores a measly 40.
But you can't just bury those 15 data points in the conclusion of a 3,000-word essay, right?
Yeah.
The sources emphasize that you have to put your strongest stats and methodology in the first 30% of the page.
Exactly.
Apparently, nearly 45% of ChatGPT citations come from that top section. It's almost like you have to write the TLDR specifically for the bot before the human even gets to read the story.
Precisely. And this optimization isn't just for text anymore, it extends to video. B2B software brands are realizing that short-form video on YouTube Shorts is becoming a massive AI visibility channel.
I saw that. YouTube Shorts are ranking globally for over 1,100 high-intent software searches. Queries like best CRM software, and 92% of those search results include an AI overview at the top.
Yeah.
But how is the AI pulling answers from a video?
It reads the transcript. Google owns YouTube, so their AI heavily indexes the .srt, files the subtitle and transcript data. The new strategy is to take a dense, hour-long webinar, chop it into a 60-second short, answering a specific buyer question, and optimize the spoken words so the AI can easily extract the answer.
Okay, wait, I have to stop you here. I'm feeling that contradiction we talked about at the beginning. We are simultaneously building highly technical, raw HTML tables for bots to scrape and reverse engineering our video transcripts for an algorithm, while at the exact same time, we are terrified of using M-dashes because we desperately want human readers to know we aren't bots. How does a company balance optimizing for a machine without completely losing its soul?
It's the most difficult tightrope walk in business today, hands down. The answer lies in separating the delivery from the substance.
Okay, unpack that. You can and should optimize the delivery mechanism, the HTML, the transcripts for the machine. But the substance, the proprietary data, the strong opinion, the actual lived experience has to come from a uniquely human place. Because when you cross that line and let the machine handle the substance and the strategy, you just invite disaster.
Which brings us perfectly to the danger of set and forget automation. We just talked about feeding the AI good data, but what happens when you let the AI actually drive the car?
It usually leads to catastrophic invisible failures. We have a piece from AdExchanger in our stack that points out a terrifying reality. The core data layer feeding most B2B marketing automation right now was built 3 to 5 years ago.
So we're talking about data collected before modern privacy consent regulations and lead scoring models that reflect a totally different economic reality.
Yes. Back when human marketers reviewed every campaign before hitting launch, their intuition would catch anomalies. The human would look at an email list and say, wait, these contacts haven't engaged since 2022, let's pull them. AI agents don't have that intuition.
Right. They act at terrifying speed and scale. They have no instinct to question if an opt-in from years ago is still valid. So they end up blindly bombarding expired contacts until the company's email deliverability gets permanently blacklisted.
It's literally like letting an AI drive your car using a GPS system that hasn't been updated since 2021. It doesn't matter how advanced the car's processor is, it is going to confidently drive you at 60 miles an hour straight into a newly built lake.
That's a great way to visualize it. And this structural failure is happening natively inside ad platforms, too. Take Google Ads Smart Bidding, for example. This is an AI system designed to automatically adjust your bids to get the best results. But for the AI to learn what a good result looks like, it needs a minimum of 30 to 50 conversions per campaign per month.
But marketers are control freaks. They love to organize things, so they segment their accounts into dozens of hyper-specific micro-campaigns.
And by doing that, they accidentally sabotage the AI. Think of it like a human trying to learn how to shoot a basketball. If you only let a player take one shot a month, they are never going to find their rhythm or learn from their mistakes.
That makes total sense.
By splitting campaigns into tiny segments, marketers spread the conversion data so thin that they essentially blindfold the AI, trapping it permanently in a learning phase. Add Performance Max into the mix, and it gets even worse.
Wait, isn't Performance Max supposed to be Google's crown jewel? Like the ultimate automated campaign type? Why would that ruin things?
Because of how it claims credit. If you don't aggressively build boundaries using negative keywords, Performance Max will cannibalize your standard search campaigns.
Oh, no.
Yeah, instead of finding new customers, the AI will just bid on cheap, branded search terms, people who are literally typing your company's name into Google and were going to buy anyway. It inflates your costs and claims the credit, making the AI look like a genius while your actual new customer growth just flatlines.
It's a total illusion of performance, which is exactly what happens when you rely on bad data in a single dashboard. There's a case study here from Brain Labs that illustrates this perfectly. A brand increased their video ad spend, and according to their primary dashboard, which used a first-click attribution model, their post-click conversions plummeted from 80% down to 20%.
Right. If you were an unsupervised AI agent looking at that dashboard, your immediate programmed reaction would be to instantly turn off the video ads because it looks like a massive failure.
But they ran an incrementality test, and it proved that overall revenue actually went up.
Let's explain what that test actually is because it's vital. Incrementality testing is basically running a placebo trial. You hold out a control group that doesn't see the video ads, and you compare them to a group that does. They found that people were watching the video, not clicking the link immediately, but remembering the brand and buying later. The dashboard was totally blind to that view through impact.
If we connect this to the bigger picture, putting an unsupervised AI in charge removes the necessary friction of human skepticism. We need a human to look at a metric dropping from 80 to 20 and say, that doesn't make sense, let's dig deeper.
Exactly.
And we need that skepticism right now more than ever because the landscape is shifting again. Have you seen these numbers on agentic traffic?
It is staggering. According to Human Security, agentic traffic, meaning AI shopping bots and autonomous agents comparing products online, is up 7,851% year over year.
Wait, hold on. A bot is buying things. How does a bot have a credit card?
They are corporate procurement bots, mostly. Companies are programming AI agents to scour the web, evaluate software features, compare pricing tables, and even initiate the purchase process within set budget parameters. They are essentially the perfect customer. They evaluate the data objectively and transact. In fact, they convert at 4.4 times the rate of human buyers.
But here is the punchline. Because companies are running legacy security software on autopilot, those security systems are accidentally blocking these high-converting AI buyers, assuming they are just malicious scrapers trying to steal data. The automated guard dog is biting the automated customer.
It perfectly illustrates the absolute limits of pure automation, which brings us to a really profound question about the future of work. If AI can handle the baseline execution, the code, the bidding, the data processing, but fails spectacularly without supervision, where does the human value actually sit?
It shifts entirely to human judgment, craft, counterintuitive thinking. We have an article here from Richard King about how the product marketing manager role is being completely rewritten. AI has raised the floor. It can generate safe, middle-of-the-road positioning statements in seconds.
Which means bringing a safe, consensus-driven insight to the table is now worthless.
Completely.
The highest leverage skill for a marketer today is deciding what to leave out. It's about taking clear, highly opinionated positions that might actually alienate the wrong people, just so you can deeply connect with the right ones. It's about digging into the contradictions that an AI would try to smooth over.
The historical example they give for this is an absolute masterclass in ignoring data. How did Sony sell 400 million Walkmans in the 1980s?
By actively removing features that people said they wanted.
Here's where it gets really interesting. When Sony was developing the Walkman, all the market research, customer surveys, and retail partners explicitly demanded that the device include a recording feature. It was considered standard. But Sony's leadership looked at the data and ignored it.
They just threw it out.
They cut the recording feature anyway. By doing that, they were able to shrink the device, drop the price to $150, and give it a hyper-specific purpose, just listening to music on the go.
Think about that through the lens of modern AI. No algorithm in the world trained to find the safest, most logical path based on historical data would ever suggest removing a feature when survey data explicitly demanded it.
Never.
AI is a consensus machine. Human craft is about taking a bold stance and trusting an intuitive leap.
We see that same human instinct in crisis management, too. There's a piece in our stack analyzing how brands react when things go wrong. If you asked a corporate AI to handle a crisis, it would spit out the standard PR playbook, contain the bad news, issue a sterile apology, and suppress the story to minimize damage.
But the brands winning today are doing the exact opposite. When a massive 12-ton shipment of Kit Kats was stolen in a heist, the brand didn't try to hide it. They leaned into the absurdity.
I love this story.
They made jokes on social media, treating the thieves like ultimate fans. That human reaction generated $224 million in earned media and won the Cannes PR Grand Prix.
Or look at the Japanese snack brand, Palby. They had a massive supply chain failure where their packaging was accidentally printed in monochrome, black and white, instead of full color. The automated response would be to recall the bags and hide the mistake. Instead, they kept them on the shelves. And it sparked this massive consumer art movement where people were buying the bags just to color them in themselves. You cannot program an algorithm to recognize a supply chain failure as a coloring book art project.
You really can't. It requires an understanding of human culture. We saw this play out on the biggest stage possible during the 2026 World Cup. Official sponsors like Adidas spent fortunes on algorithmic reach and optimized ad inventory.
And Adidas got about 7 million views on YouTube for their efforts.
Meanwhile, Nike wasn't even an official sponsor. They couldn't rely on the algorithm pushing official content, so they relied entirely on social craft. They leaned into raw, athlete-led storytelling and engaged with micro-communities, and they pulled in 70 million views.
Wow.
10 times the reach of the official sponsor, driven entirely by human ingenuity.
The ultimate human moat. So as we wrap up this stack of newsletters, what is the core takeaway for the listener today?
If there is one through line to all of this, it's that the AI era does not replace you. It strips away your busy work. It commoditizes the basic execution. The machine can write the code for the HTML table, sure, but you have to decide what the data actually means. Taste, a distinct point of view, and strategic judgment, those are the only things that actually matter now.
So what does this all mean? Well, I'm going to leave you with a thought to mull over as you go about your day, taking everything we learned today just one step further. We know that agentic traffic is up nearly 8,000%, and these AI procurement bots are buying things at 4.4 times the rate of human beings. And we also know that an AI bot doesn't care about a funny Kit Kat tweet or a beautifully colored Calbee bag or emotional brand storytelling. It just wants the raw HTML data. So what happens in a few years when our AI marketing agents are forced to negotiate directly with a buyer's AI purchasing agent? Will genuine human-to-human marketing become a premium luxury like buying a bespoke, handcrafted watch, while the vast majority of the internet just becomes algorithms aggressively selling things to other algorithms? It's a wild thought. Over the next few days, pay close attention to how you are interacting with brands online. Notice when you crave that authentic human touch, and notice when you are perfectly happy letting the machine take over. Thank you so much for joining us on this deep dive. We'll catch you next time.
Spoken Tech for your ears.